Hello and welcome back, future scientists. I'm Mr. K with Mississippi Public Broadcasting, and we're going to continue our lesson today talking about the ACT and specifically the science portion of the ACT. Over this series, we hope to increase your scores by giving you tips and tricks that you can use in order to do better on those portions of the ACT. Today, what I'm going to talk about is something known as student support. This information is going to be really important to some of us and might not be important to others of us at all. It just kind of depends on the situation that you're in. So let me go over this stuff and hopefully everyone can find something that they can use here. Okay, so what I really wanted to talk about today, these are student supports that are given to students that need a little bit of extra help. And that help can come in a lot of different ways. So what I'm mostly going to be talking about are fee waivers and accommodations. Fee waivers are basically a ticket to take the ACT, and depending on your situation, maybe your home life or the economic class that you're in, you might have access to fee waivers, which basically means you don't have to pay to take the ACT. Some other student supports here are accommodations, so depending on, you might have a learning disability or even if you don't speak the English language proficiently, there are some accommodations that you have access to make it more of an even playing field for you compared to everybody else. So we're going to go ahead and talk about these in a little bit of detail today. I'll talk to you how you can get them and why they're important to know about, okay? So first of all, let's talk about fee waivers. Who is eligible? Okay, so fee waivers are for 11th and 12th graders. These are people that are testing in the United States, in Puerto Rico, or in a U.S. territory, and you must meet at least one of the following needs. Okay, so if you're enrolled in a free or reduced lunch, if you're enrolled in a program for the economically disadvantaged, if you reside in a foster home, or if you're unhoused, or if your family receives low-income assistance or lives in subsidized public housing, you would have access to a fee waiver. Again, a fee waiver is basically just a ticket to take the ACT for free. We don't want people to be disadvantaged just because they can't afford to take the ACT, and so this is a way that ACT has kind of leveled the playing field for people that need that little bit of extra help. Okay? So what is covered in a fee waiver? Well, a fee waiver is going to cover the registration fee. It's going to let you report, it's going to let you send your report to one high school and up to 6 colleges, okay? It's going to allow you to have additional score reports. You might want to send them to a job interview or to different colleges, or if you transfer to a different school, they might want to know what your ACT score is. It also lets you take the official ACT course, okay, and that's going to be some help that you can take advantage of in order to practice the ACT a little bit. And let me just go ahead and say this while I'm thinking about it. If you have any questions about if you're eligible for a fee waiver or if you're eligible for any kind of accommodations, you can go to the ACT website, but someone that would have a lot of information about this is the school counselor. So whoever the counselor is at your school, if you have questions about would I be able to take this fee waiver or do I get some accommodations, go talk to your counselor about it and they can help you figure that stuff out. Okay? So more about fee waivers here. Those who are eligible may use up to 4 free waivers, okay? For more information, like I said, go to act.org, but also the counselor at your school can help you figure this stuff out. Okay, let's talk about accommodations for a while. So accommodations are ways that the ACT level the playing field or make it more even for people that need a little bit of extra help, okay? These accommodations can come at the state or district level, and the users must have a documented disability, okay? The test coordinator at your school would know about this, and they are the ones that are going to submit these accommodation requests. Students who have a disability but not a school plan in place can still apply for accommodations. Again, contact the test coordinator at your school or the school counselor would be able to help you do this. Okay, here are some documentations that you would need. If you have one of these, you probably get some accommodations, so we want to make sure you're taking advantage of them. Okay, if you have an IEP or a 504 plan, if you don't know what those are, they probably don't apply to you, but those that recognize these, you might be on one of these types of plans, and that means you would get some accommodation. Here are some other accommodations that people might have access to. Again, talk to your school counselor about it. Extended time, audio supports, and response reports, okay? Real quick, I wanted to talk about some accommodations for English language learners. So these are people that might not be totally proficient in the English language. You can imagine how hard taking the ACT would be if you didn't speak the language that the ACT was written in. So in order to get these accommodations, you must be enrolled in a school in the U.S., in a U.S. territory, or in Puerto Rico. And you would need documentation of one of the following. So you would need documentation that you have limited English proficiency. You would need to have documentation that you're enrolled in an English language acquisition program. So if you take classes to help you better understand the English language, like how to speak it more fluently, or if your current English language supports or if you're in that class at your school. So these would be some things that if you're enrolled in these, or if you fall under one of these umbrella terms, again, talk to your counselor, talk to your test coordinator, you might get some accommodations. What type of accommodations might you get access to? Well, English language learners, here are some accommodations they might get. They would get a bilingual dictionary, so in case they get to a word that they don't know in English, they would be able to translate it into the language that they understand. They would get written directions that are translated so they actually know what they're doing, okay? You might get extended time. Usually that's about time and a half, which still plays a huge role. And you can even get small group testing. What that means is you're still testing individually, but you're testing in a smaller room, and you might have a facilitator there to help you kind of translate or to make sense of the test in a little bit more detail. Okay, so these are some accommodations and some student supports that I wanted to make sure we covered early on. Again, talk to your parents, talk to your school counselor, talk to your test coordinator, and they can answer any questions you might have on this stuff, okay? So y'all, thank you so much for making it here today. I hope everybody has a great day.